Have you ever really felt how deeply tired you are? Not just physically, but tired of trying, tired of pushing, tired of constantly battling time, battling expectations, battling people, and above all, battling yourself. Maybe you haven't fully noticed it, but there's this quiet kind of exhaustion inside you. A deep weariness that comes from always trying to control what can't be controlled. You push yourself endlessly to be more efficient, more stable, more motivated, more perfect. You force yourself to make choices, to hold on to relationships, to follow routines that no longer nourish you. And the harder you try, the more everything seems to slip away. Like holding water in your hands, like chasing something that keeps moving just out of reach. That's where a powerful ancient idea enters. It comes from Taoism and was brought to the West by Alan Watts. It's called Wu Wei, not doing nothing but doing without force. And it's not about weakness or passivity, it's about deep wisdom and quiet strength. It's the art of moving with life, not against it. Think of a dancer who doesn't fight the rhythm, but flows with the beat. Or a surfer who rides the wave instead of resisting the sea. Now pause and ask yourself, how many times today did you try to force something that wasn't ready? How often do you blame yourself for not being able to control what was never yours to control? How many of your choices come from fear? Fear of loss, fear of judgment, fear of not doing enough. We've all been taught to go against the current. Since childhood, we've been told to push through, to never quit, to hustle at all costs. Even when everything inside us begs us to pause, and we grow up into anxious, exhausted adults, disconnected from our own inner voice. Because no one ever taught us the power of letting go, of observing, of trusting. Wu Wei isn't about sitting back and doing nothing. It's about moving with awareness, with gentleness, with respect for the timing of things. It's the shift from being the tired rower struggling upstream to becoming the wise sailor who adjusts the sails and lets the wind carry them. Alan Watts said that when you stop pushing life, something unexpected happens. The right doors open, the right paths appear, the right answers surface. Not because you fought for them, but because you finally made space for them to come. And maybe you're here now because you're tired. Because some part of you knows that forcing is no longer working. Because deep down, you feel ready for a different way of living. A way that feels lighter, truer, more like you. In the next few minutes, you'll discover that Wu Wei is more than a beautiful concept. It's a key, a daily practice, a new lens that can return to your life. What you've been chasing through control. Not surface-level peace, but real peace. The kind that comes when you align with the truth of who you are and the flow of life itself. So take a breath, drop your shoulders, and be fully here. Because what's coming next might just change the way you move through the world. To really understand Wu Wei, we have to go deeper than just words. We have to dive into the roots from which it came, Taoism and Zen. Forget for a moment everything you've learned about philosophy. Being a set of ideas to memorize Tao and Zen are not intellectual theories, they are lived realities. You don't understand them with the mind, you feel them in your bones, in your breath, in your experience of being alive. The Tao, which means the way, is not a doctrine, not a list of rules. It's the invisible current that runs through everything. The growth of trees, the change of seasons, the rhythm of birth and loss, joy and pain, all following a natural intelligence far deeper than human logic. Lao Tzu, the Taoist sage, said, "The Tao that can be spoken is not the true Tao, because the moment you try to trap life in words, life has already shifted. The Tao is like the wind. You can feel it move, but you can't hold it or define it." Zen was born from this same truth, when Buddhism merged with Taoism in ancient China. a more radical path emerged. Zen doesn't try to explain life. It aims to strip away everything that blocks you from experiencing it fully. There are no beliefs to memorize in Zen. Only the practice of total presence, being completely here, in your breath, in your steps, in your touch. Both Taoism and Zen whisper the same uncomfortable truth. You're not in control. You never were. And your endless effort to control is what separates you from real life. These teachings don't offer escape. They offer return, a return to the natural state of trust, the one you had as a child, when you could fall and laugh, try and fail without shame, play without any need to win. But here's where many people struggle, because these teachings seem distant, strange, almost unreachable for minds shaped by Western logic and pressure. That's where someone extraordinary stepped in. Someone who dedicated his life to building a bridge between East and West, Alan Watts. And in the next part of this journey, you'll meet the man who didn't just translate words. He translated wisdom, not as something exotic, but as something essential. For anyone trying to stay whole in a fragmented world, imagine a time when words like Tao or Zen or meditation were seen as foreign, just spiritual ornaments from faraway lands, things that had nothing to do with real life. Alan Watts changed that, not as a scholar locked away in books, but as a free thinker. A rebel mind who questioned the foundations of modern thought. He didn't try to convert anyone. He wanted to free people from dogma, from the obsession with results, from the endless need to fix and improve everything. He believed that what we are searching for, peace meaning connection, isn't found through control but through surrender, not giving up, but giving in to the flow that's already guiding everything. He had a way of speaking that didn't lecture you. It invited you. He didn't give easy answers. He shattered the questions. And in that space, he gave people the chance to feel something real. He used images like rivers, like music, like wind, to help people grasp the wisdom that words can't explain. He said life is like a song. The point isn't to rush to the final note, it's to dance to the melody, to feel every beat. And we forget this. We forget that life isn't a task to finish. It's an experience to be felt. And Wu Wei is the silent music we've all forgotten. How to Hear Alan Watts didn't just talk about Eastern ideas. He spoke directly to our silent pain, to the loneliness, the anxiety, the way we've lost touch with the present moment. But he also warned that knowing about Wu Wei is not enough. You have to live it, because otherwise you'll keep paddling, and that's exactly what we'll explore next. Now picture this, a giant river flowing with all its might, and someone trapped in it, trying to swim upstream, struggling, gasping, fighting to go where the current won't let them. That's us. That's modern life, always resisting, always pushing and suffering. Not because of the river, but because we refuse to flow with it. Alan Watts used this image to show us the truth, that most of our pain doesn't come from what happens. It comes from our resistance to what is. You lose something, you try to hold on. You panic, you cling, but it slips away because it was never meant to be held. Just like water in your hands. Watts said, life has its own wisdom, its own timing. You don't have to push it, you have to trust it. This doesn't mean giving up. It means aligning your actions with the deeper rhythms you can't control. Just like a surfer listens to the ocean before catching a wave. When you resist life, you create tension. That tension builds up in your muscles, in your thoughts, in your spirit. And soon you're living in a constant war with life, with others, with yourself, and deep down you know it. But the fear of letting go feels bigger than the pain of holding on. But the river also carries a quiet promise that there is another way, One where letting go doesn't mean losing yourself. It means finding your real self, to choose trust over control, to move with life, not against it. And in the next part, we'll see how our culture taught us the opposite, how we were raised in a system of effort and struggle, and how that mindset is quietly exhausting us all. Get ready, because now we uncover the root of your deepest fatigue and what finally needs to change, so you can begin to truly live. Thank you for being here, for choosing to pause, to feel, to remember what truly matters. If this touched something inside you, stay with me. Don't forget to subscribe. Ethereum channel for more transformation videos. This journey has only just begun, and your presence means everything.